Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. It's Nathaniel from Chessit, here to cover the Chess.com daily puzzle titled Returning Full Triangle. This is the December 22nd Sunday puzzle, and it's a difficult one, so without further ado, let's get into it. Now, what I can immediately notice, and what we should all immediately note, is that we're down 13 points of material. Now, this is an outrageous amount. Black essentially has a queen and a rook for our knight. Sorry, a queen, a rook, and a bishop for our knight. And we're just completely losing. So I'm hoping that you guys can also see that in this position, there's no way to win back that kind of material, right? We're not going to be able to win back a queen and a rook, especially considering one of our knights, our knight on b5 is hanging, and black seems to have a comfortable position. So even if we can win back, black's queen will still be down. And for that reason, we'll have to look at a series of forcing moves that lead to checkmate, right? There's just simply no way we can win back material. So the first moves that caught my eye, or the first checks that I could see, are 1, knight e5 check, and 2, rook c7 check. In this position, there are currently no other checks, and since we've established that we do have to complete a series of checks that lead to checkmate, we will have to be playing one of these two moves. However, what you can also see is that if you play rook c7 check outright, black can simply play king e8 and escape any further checks. We will have two, which are knight d6 check, but after this, black can simply take our knight either with the pawn or with the rook. And we do have a rook sack, rook takes e7, but after this, black can take back with the king or the bishop and be completely fine. So, through process of elimination, we see that our first move has to be knight e5 check. And this, additionally, forces black to play one of two king moves. If black moves to e8 with his king, we simply have knight c7 checkmate. So we force black to come forward to e6, and from here we'll have to look for further checks. I can see a couple. 1, we can play knight c7 check, and 2, we actually have a rook sack, rook c6 check. Now if we play knight c7 check, black's king can once again just simply escape to d6, and from here we don't have any more valid checks. We could go back and play knight f7 check, yet black can simply continue moving down and eventually escape, right? Or we could play say knight b5 check, which loses a knight and loses the game. So in conclusion, after knight c7 check, we don't have any further checks that lead to checkmate. So yes, you guys guessed it, we do have to play a rook sack. Rook c6 check is brilliant because it either forces black to take back with the pawn or forces black to block with the rook. However, if black blocks with the rook, we have mate in 1, knight c7 checkmate. So it forces black to take our rook back with the pawn, and from here we continue on our mating sequence by playing knight c7 check. Once again, if we're looking for checks, this is actually the only one that we have available, so we are kind of forced to play it, especially after sacking your rook. But after knight c7 check, the black king is forced to come to d6, and from here we can use one of the most brutal tactics in chess, playing a double check, knight c4, revealing an attack on the king by the bishop, which simultaneously protects our knight on c7. And once again, only one move for black, which is to play king d7. So after king d7, I'm sure you guys can see this, we have knight b6 checkmate, right? And black, from here, black has no further moves, it's mate, and we simply win the game despite being down 18 points of material. Now, if you guys solved this difficult Sunday puzzle and enjoyed my analysis, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Peace.